I'm going to try to do 3 today. So if you're watching this video, look for the other 2 with the decision on Fannie Willis from Judge McAfee, and also the update on the Young Thug hearings, number 43, number 42, and number 43. So I'm going to get right into it. I just noticed on GMA, Regina King did an interview. She hasn't done anything in 2 years since the unaliving of her son Ian. And I want to be delicate with this. I did a video and it got erased, so I have to redo it. But I'm going to try to treat it as delicately as possible. And I want you to watch. I did 3 videos in January of 2022 when he lost his life. And I want to ask you guys to please keep your minds, your spirits open, because we don't want the elites in Hollywood dealing with telling us how to vote, how to think, how to move, how to eat, and how to live. And there are a couple of instances in here that I'm very disappointed. One of those specifically is that she made a statement that she respects his choice to unalive. And that is feeding our children the idea that it's a choice and it's okay, instead of us teaching or using our platform not to say that it is okay, and to go to scripture and talk about how God does not intend for us to take our lives, and it is biblically not, you're not supposed to enter in. And I don't even believe that he unalived himself. And if you watch my videos, you'll see that. So I'm going to leave the 3 videos in the description, and I'm going to let this speak for itself, and I may stop it like 2 times. So let's get started with this, with Regina King.
I had the privilege of sitting down with actress Regina King, who stars in the powerful new movie Shirley. Shirley Chisom's historic run for president. Regina's return to the screen and to the public comes 2 years after the sudden death of her beloved son Ian. This is her first TV interview since that tragedy. We talked about her son's legacy, how she's been healing, and what she calls her favorite thing, being Ian's mom. For nearly 40 years, she's reigned as one of Hollywood's most versatile talents.
That plane does not take off unless we're both on it. Got it?
From her breakout role in the 80s sitcom 227 to her Oscar-winning performance in If Beale Street Could Talk.
Did you think I can never make you suffer?
Regina King is known for humanizing complex characters.
If I can't get the nomination, I can still get delegates.
Including her latest role starring in the biopic Shirley. How did you prepare to play Shirley Chisom?
It's been a 15-year journey since we were going to tell Shirley's story to now it actually happening. And I think 15 years ago, I wasn't ready to play Shirley. I may have thought that I was then, but I wasn't ready. I needed to live more life.
Regina's joined by her sister Raina, who co-produces and plays a key role in the film that chronicles Shirley Chisom's political rise in 1972, as she becomes the first Black woman to run for president.
We felt like there were so many people who did not know who Shirley Chisom is, who she was, who she is. And that bugged us. When you're a first, when you set out to do something that no one else has done before, there's no example of that for you. That's a lonely road to travel.
Yeah, and it just so happens to be an election year.
Yeah. We were like, no, it needs to.
Let me stop right there. It just so happens. No, this is all planned. This is always planned and set up for us to feed off into. When I say us, I mean quote unquote Black people.
Live and be in the space now, so that if it's going to inspire anyone, especially young people, to be involved with the political process, then we've done something right. And we've also honored Shirley, and we've followed through with what Shirley has unbought and unbossed.
For the last couple of years, Regina has been taking much needed time away. In January of 2022, her dear son Ian tragically passing away by suicide. You dedicated the film to your beloved Ian, your son.
Ian.
What has this time span, these last 2 years, been like for you, Regina?
Oh, wow. You know, I'm a different person, you know, now than I was January 19th. I am. Grief is a journey, you know. I understand that grief is love that has no place to go. I know that it's important to me to.
If you're at home.
It's interesting when she did this movie 21 seconds, and it's in my videos, you'll see she did not want to do that movie because it was a movie that a series that showed that a child was had died, was taken from his mom and died, and it was the same thing from an unaliving, if I recall. It's in my video, and it's talked about. She did not want to do that series, and right after that series, then it happened. And I believe that we have to pray for our actors because I believe they're threatened to do things, and they're made to do things because of these contracts, because of the lifestyles they become accustomed to living. And just wanted to throw that in.
Honor Ian in the totality of who he is. I speak about him in the present because he is always with me, and the joy and happiness that he gave all of us.
But behind that joy and happiness, Ian's mental health took a toll.
When it comes to depression, that people expect it to look a certain way, and they expect it to look heavy, and people expect that
It's okay.
to have to experience this and not be able to have the time to just sit with Ian's choice, which I respect and understand, you know, that he didn't want to be here anymore. And that's a hard thing for other people to receive because they did not live our experience, did not live Ian's journey.
Now, that's the part that I have a problem with. Her broadcasting to the whole world that she respects his choice. And I know this is her interview. She can say what she wants. But that sends a subliminal message to our children that to do that is just a choice and it's okay. But nobody talks about what comes behind that choice.
I think a lot of people are going to appreciate that you said it was his choice and that you recognize that.
I was so angry with God, you know, that why would that weight be given to Ian? You know, of all of the things that we had gone through with the therapy, psychiatrists and programs, and Ian was like, I'm tired of talking, Mom. My favorite thing about myself is being Ian's mom. And I can't say that with a smile, with tears, with all of the emotion that comes with that. I can't do that if I did not respect the journey.
Their close bond always on full display at Regina's red carpet events. I thought about him when you were on the stage at the Oscars because you were wearing orange. That's his favorite color.
Yes.
I remember he used to escort you.
Yeah.
So are there moments where he was always there with you physically that not as a trigger, but is it?
Oh, it's a trigger.
Is it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So sometimes it'll trigger just laughter. Most times, as of recent, it triggers a smile. But sometimes his absence is really loud.
Regina admits she still struggles with acceptance.
Sometimes, it's a lot of guilt comes over me. When a parent loses a child, you still wonder, what could I have done so that wouldn't have happened? I know that I share this grief with everyone, but no one else is Ian's mom. It's only me. And so it's mine. And the sadness will never go away. It'll always be with me. And I think I saw somewhere the sadness is a reminder of how much he means to me,
Happy sorrow is what my mother used to
Yeah,
call it.
happy sorrow.
You said something that Shirley Chisom. What are the two words? Unbought and unbossed. So what are two words for your motto to get? What would be your two words?
I don't know that I can. Two words.
I have two words for you.
Do you?
Ian's mom.
That's the first thought that came to my mind.
I know you.
That's the first
I
thought that
know
came to
you.
my mind, but I was like, okay, let me come up with something more profound. That's what I was trying to, but that was the first thought that came to my mind.
That's all right.
Ian's mom.
She is. She's such a special, special human being, and she said that often that she will feel his presence or something will be said. Somebody that she didn't know that her son knew will say something, and she calls those her inspirations. Inspirations, named after her son.
Okay, guys, I wanted to make it short and simple. And, because it's a delicate thing to lose a child. And when I hear something like this, I pray and I cover my 20-year-olds. And I say, Lord, have mercy and cover them in the blood of Jesus. And we have to take time to cover our family every day and cover our children and cover our circumstances, our world, and pray for others. So I just want to leave this with you in thought. Please look in the description, watch my videos, because I'm not letting um, Miss Regina King, the actress, off the hook. And when I say off the hook, what I mean is I don't want her to take those 2 years that she's had to reflect and get swept back up in the cycle of being used by the industry to promote a political agenda and then dedicate this movie to her son, Ian, which has no parallel at all. Um, I'm glad she's getting back to work. It's a noble thing to do a movie like this, but to be used is not a noble thing. And I pray that these actors and actresses will stop allowing the industry to use them, to puppet them in front of us, to play with our minds and have us think a different way about unaliving, think a different way about how to vote, and think a different way about life itself. One of the things she mentioned is she has this guilt, and we all in that position would have probably some type of remorse, but not necessarily guilt. Guilt and remorse are two different things. Remorse is something that you can feel bad about, but guilt is something that you say, I feel like I did something or did not do something that I could have or should have done. What is important to me is to make sure when you watch my videos that you understand that Ian was at the peak of his life. He always celebrated with his mom. They had a close bond. And the industry will take those that are closest to you away from you so that you will have no one left around you. The first person came to my mind is Davido in Nigeria. People taken from around him, like back to back to back to back. The death of his son in a swimming pool, the death of his closest manager. These people that protect them, that are around them. In order for people to get controlled, they the enemy will take away all of their fences that are around them, their natural fences. So if you have a spiritual fence and you have Christ in your life and you're praying, the enemy cannot take away from you anything unless you give it to him. Those fences around you that are natural, God will protect them like he'll protect you. One thing we got to remember in this industry is don't skip over just to get there big fast. Another thing came to me quickly. I'm going to do a video about Lil Baby. Don't skip over to get there fast and settle for compromising your morals and your lifestyle and your integrity to get the dream that God put in you to get. If you do it God's way, you take your time, get there in a time and space that God has given for you to get there, then you're good. But when you take those shortcuts where they dangle in front of you, the apple, the forbidden fruit in front of you that will get you there quicker, don't go for it. And I'm going to leave the description of the videos. I'm going to leave the thoughts with you. This is as delicate and as graceful as I can do this video. So this is Graceful Exposure, and I'm signing out. Got 2 more videos to do. Thank you all.